Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome back to Java and Joy. This episode is all about sugar. Who doesn't love sugar? Actually, it's why sugar hits different after 40. Because it does, whether we want it to or not. As much as we love sugar, sometimes it doesn't always love us back in the way that it used to. And we're also going to talk about what foods can actually help balance your hormones and kind of counteract some of that sugar. And this is going to be all about adding things to your life, not subtracting them. No punishments here, no restrictions, no overhauls, none of that. Just simple information to give you your power back so you can be in control of your hormones, your blood sugar levels, your moods, your cravings, your energy levels, all those things. I'm going to give you all the tools you need in this episode. And I think you're going to be surprised that one of the biggest food groups that I'm going to recommend for you is not protein, although it's still important, but that is not what I consider my powerhouse of food groups. But we will go over that for sure. So let's get settled in, get your Javas together. Before we get started though, I do want to mention my Joy Circle is up and running. My community membership, it is so much fun. We are starting our first challenge this week. We have our first webinar coming up. There's a bonus episode of Java and Joy in there for you guys. And there will be every single month called Brewed for You. It's basically an episode of answering basically Q&A. So all the questions that I get as a wellness coach on a regular basis, I take those and I answer them in these little mini episodes that are just for that Joy Circle. So I'm so excited for that to be up and running. It's a very good supportive community of women. So if you're not already in there, check the show notes. Links will be there for you. You can also go to karlajoywellness.com and you'll see the Joy Circle there so you can join in on the fun. So don't miss that. We are just getting started in there. And there's just so many good things to come. So that is our housekeeping of the day. Now let's do our normal warm up here, okay? So make sure you've got your coffee, your comfy seat, relax, take some deep breaths, release any tension that you might have. Anywhere you're holding on to stress, maybe your fists are tight right now, maybe your jaw's clenched, maybe your knees are kind of squished together. Let it all go. Let it all go. Excuse me, seasonal allergies, here they are. Spring has sprung. Spring has sprung for sure. And actually, on that note, that ties into my joy moment of the week, which is I got spring cleaning done. I cleaned my whole house, the fans, I cleaned out junk drawers. I literally did, excuse me, oh my gosh. I literally did spring cleaning and it felt amazing. Our weather is all over the place right now here in Indiana. If you're in the Midwest, you get it. It's like storms, 80 degrees. Tomorrow morning, 40 degrees. And then back to 80. So allergies, we're hurting. We're hurting here. So I do apologize. I do have my drink here though to sip on to keep that whistle wet as we go. So bear with me. I'm just glad I'm not actually sick. I've got full energy, which is amazing, honestly. More energy than I've had so far this year, probably because I've actually been able to get outside and get some really good vitamin D these last couple weeks. So I had some really good joy moments there. Just feeling good, getting things organized. It feels so good to check things off the list. Oh, who can relate to that? Raise your hand. I mean, not if you're driving. If you're driving, please don't raise your hand. But it just feels good. It just feels wonderful to have a little less things on our to-do list. Because let's face it, the to-do list is never done. But man, is it nice when it's just a little bit shorter, a little bit. And I keep a digital to-do list, so it's nice, but I don't have to scroll to see it all. Anyway, I digress. So I want to know what your joy moments are. Share them with me. Take yourself some pictures. If you take a selfie of you doing a joy moment this week, post it on your Instagram or your Facebook and tag me at Karla Joy Wellness. I love seeing you guys sharing your joy moments, even if that's just you drinking your coffee, listening to Java and Joy. Still counts. Still counts. So share those moments. And sometimes I, reward people for just showing up for themselves and sharing that joy with everybody else. So tag me, okay? All right, so here we go. Now, let's talk about something so many women notice, but no one ever explains. So you've not changed your diet, you haven't changed your workouts, but suddenly you're more tired, you're craving sugar constantly, and all the foods that used to work for you don't anymore. And you're just sitting there like, what is happening? That's why we're going to break it all down. We're going to talk about why sugar hits different after 40, best foods for hormone balance, and simple swaps that you can actually start today. No extremes, no restrictions, ladies, just real life sustainable shifts that you can do. Okay? Because I think you'll be shocked at how easy this really is and how impactful it will be in your life. So before I dive into all those foods and the things, let's talk about why your hormones change after 40. And don't worry, I'm going to keep this very simple because you may already know this, you may not, but we're not going to get sciencey here. Just know that as we enter perimenopause, our hormones, especially estrogen and progesterone, start fluctuating. And that affects our blood sugar regulation, our moods, our energy levels, our fat storage, all of it. It affects all those things. So it's not that your body is broken, okay? It's just responding differently now to the fuel that we're giving it. And one of the biggest triggers is sugar. Okay? So why does sugar specifically hit differently? Well, there's so many women that feel stuck. Like, you eat something sweet back in the day and you just eat your sweet and move on, right? But now if you eat a sweet, you're like having an energy crash, or it's making you crave even more sweets, which isn't good. That's like a vicious cycle. It causes you to have mood swings and irritability, and it actually is helping you store more belly fat that you don't really want help with. So when you eat sugar alone, it spikes that blood sugar like really, really fast, which then in turn causes it to drop really, really fast, and a lot of times go lower than it even was before the spike. So that's why you're feeling the fatigue and the cravings and the irritability. It's a sugar crash. It's like a blood sugar crash, literally. And then you're just like, I need more sugar, because your body immediately wants something fast acting, and that's sugar. It's like it's craving that energy, right? And it's either nap or sugar, right? And sugar's fast, right? And it tastes good. And we don't have time to take naps. So the body's like, all right, let's get some more sugar in here so that I can pep back up again. So that's why it's that you get on that roller coaster and it just kind of never stops. And what happens is in perimenopause specifically, we're more sensitive to that cycle. Those ups and downs are bigger than they used to be. So now they're more noticeable. They have more like lasting effects. So know this, ladies, know this. It is not your fault. You do not have a lack of willpower. Whoever is telling you, oh, it's just willpower, it's not. No amount of willpower in the world can alter your blood sugar levels, okay? Doesn't work that way, okay? So please know, it is not about willpower or lack of motivation or that you're broken or that there's nothing you can do. It's biology, and there is things that you can do, or are things that you can do, okay? And that's what we're gonna talk about here. Now, before I jump into that though, I have a giveaway for you guys. Yes, I said a giveaway. If you are listening to this on my podcast, which could be Spotify, iHeartRadio, where am I? Apple Podcasts, I think I'm everywhere. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, doesn't matter. You can either drop a happy face, smiley face, whatever you want to call it, emoji in the comment section, or you can leave me a review, or you can do both for double entries. And I'm going to be selecting some people to give away some beauty and wellness prize packages. Some goodies in there, real goodies in there. So go get entered. You can wait until this is over, but go get entered into those giveaways, okay? Either a smiley face emoji or a review or both for double entry. Sound good? You know, my love language is giving. I love to do giveaways. And I just like being able to bring joy to other people as much as I possibly can. So that's our pause for the moment there. Let's get back into it. Let me take another sip of the Java here. It's good. It's really good. It's Dunkin', by the way. We're having Dunkin' today. Dunkin' original blend. And I have a little bit of vanilla unsweetened oat milk. Delicious, by the way. Speaking of sugar, I do not put sugar in my coffee during the week. I use unsweetened vanilla oat milk or unsweetened vanilla almond milk. Promise you, if you do that consistently for like a week or two, you won't even notice that you don't have the sugar in there. It does take a little bit of time though, but I like to save my sugar for my actual dessert every day. I save it for the scoop of ice cream or the 2 Oreos or whatever my little allotments is that I allow myself that treat every single day. I save my sugar for that. Instead of drinking my sugar. That is my choice though, right? But you do you, whatever, your treat needs to be. It's all good. Treat yourself, okay? Okay, now let's talk about foods that actually will help hormone balance. That's the good news. This is the good news segment, okay? Because this is where you're going to get your power back. You do not need a crazy diet. You just need to build your meals differently. Okay, so we're going to start with the obvious, which most people talk about. It's everywhere. You kind of can't not hear it or see it, and it's protein. Protein is very important, especially after 40, for more reasons than just hormone balance. Also for maintaining muscle mass and all the things, right? It does help stabilize your blood sugar to keep it, more of a straight line versus those ups and downs. It helps reduce the cravings. It helps support your metabolism, and it helps maintain the muscle like we mentioned before. And you can get your protein however you need to. If you're not a meat eater, you don't have to eat meat. Eggs, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, protein smoothies, and then of course your chicken, turkey, lean fishes, things like that. Make sure you're having the protein at every single meal. Okay? It's good for you for many, many, many reasons. So get that protein in. And I don't think that's new news to most of us. We kind of know that, right? The other one that might be a little obvious too, I think, is healthy fats. I think we hear that a lot, using things like avocado oil, olive oil, having lots of nuts and seeds. Those actually help produce healthy, good hormones and regulate them, which is awesome. We need all the extra hormone production we can get when we're depleting it, right, as we go through perimenopause. So healthy fats should also be a part of every single meal. They also help you stay a little fuller longer too, just like the protein. The category that I personally feel that is super underrated, and I think it's the most powerful one of all, in my opinion, as far as overall noticeable health benefits for multiple reasons, is fiber. Fiber balances your blood sugar. It supports your gut health. It reduces bloating. And let me tell you now, for myself and for many coaching clients, fiber actually can help you stay fuller longer than protein or fats. Fiber bulks. When you eat a big old pile of veggies, that is some nutrient dense food with a very low calorie intake, and it just fills you. I mean, go eat a giant salad and tell me you're not as full. And especially if that salad is spinach leaves, not iceberg lettuce, by the way. Should preface that. But you need to be eating veggies with every meal possible. Veggies, and more veggies. Fruits do still count as fiber, FYI. But I'm talking leafy greens here. I'm talking veggies, especially broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and spinach. Those are like my 3 beasts I eat those 5 days a week. Every lunch consists of spinach. Every dinner I have broccoli and Brussels sprouts that I make in batch, by the way, meal prep. I make them in huge trays with olive oil and garlic on there. And I portion them into these little glass containers and I make them with dinner every single night. And if you don't know, these will actually help you with cholesterol levels as well. So if you're someone who is dealing with cholesterol issues, or if you just really want good heart health, those are the veggies that are serious powerhouses. And I'm telling you, those are the veggies that like hook on to the junk that we eat and push it through the body so it doesn't build up where it shouldn't, like cholesterol in the heart, sugar in the blood system, right? Like it's going to help move things through you, not just to reduce the bloating, but to actually pull through all the icky stuff that we eat out instead of letting it collect. So to me, that's just monumental in my opinion. And it really does make you stay fuller the longest. And that means it's easier for you to maintain your weight. It reduces cravings. And for me, I can eat all the protein. I'm telling you, I can eat all the recommended amounts of protein and still not feel like I'm as full as I want to be or as satiated. But when I bulk up that fiber, and I'm talking a third of your plate or more is vegetables, I'm full. Like I'm full for a long period of time at that, not for like an hour. And then I'm back scrounging the pantry looking for more to eat. Fiber. I will like die on this hill. And you probably will hear me say it so much forever, is fiber. And I will tell you that if you're trying to lose weight, lower cholesterol, manage your blood sugar, stay fuller longer, fiber is the underrated food group. I call it a food group, but you know what I mean. Nutrient group, whatever. So just start eating more vegetables. And fruits can be that way too, especially if you get like water dense fruits. So what I mean by that, like, is a banana may not be as filling as an apple. An apple especially, it's just so dense. It has all that water in there and it fills you more. It just keeps you fuller. Celery, cucumbers, think of things that are just kind of watery, right? Get that in your head, like which one feels like watery? And that water really does matter. It helps expand and fill up that stomach space. That's why getting your daily water intake matters too if you want to stay fuller longer. So those veggies can help play into that though. So keep that in mind. That is my number one favorite category. And if you're going to change one thing today, start adding vegetables to your diet. If you want to see overall health improvements, not just hormones, but overall health improvements. Okay. Another thing to be taking into consideration is complex carbs. So we're not going to talk cutting carbs here. I'm a runner, and you're just gonna have to know that I have carbs every single day. There's no way I could run the mileage that I do without it, at least not in a way that would be very pleasant. So I am not a carb cutter. However, most days of the week, I only eat whole grain carbs or healthy carbs like sweet potatoes, and then things like quinoa. Switching your crackers to whole grain crackers if you're a cracker eater. Your daily bread, if you have toast, switch it to whole grain, and find all of those that have no sugar in them, by the way, because again, save your sugar for where we really want the sugar, right? If you can get rid of all those hidden sugars, use them up later. Use them up with that treat, okay? But don't cut things out. Like, you can still have carbs. And I speak this as a general recommendation. Obviously, if you have certain dietary restrictions, that is not the same case. If you have underlying conditions that require you to have specific dietary regulations, follow those. I'm talking for general health for the average 40 plus woman. These are the things I recommend if you want to take back control and feel healthy and good and not feel like you're dragging and having weird cravings and being irritable. Okay. So this is like everyday recommendations, like the blanket recommendations. Okay. Okay. We talked about all the good foods, all the things we need to have. Let's talk about foods that can hurt your hormones. Now, no fear here, no guilt here. Just know that awareness is power. And obviously, number one, we're going to go right into is just sugar in general, like as a umbrella statement is sugar, because it's the biggest disruptor for energy and cravings. So sugar can be in a lot of things, guys. It's in your ketchup probably a lot. Look at your dressings and condiments, breads, things that aren't really sweet to the palate, but they're there. The sugar is there. Look at those things and just try to swap the ones you can to other alternatives. One of my favorite brands, Primal Kitchen, has like a ketchup and some condiments and some dressings. None of them have sugar in them, and they don't even taste that different. So most of them. I'm not going to say 100%. There was a couple ones I tried where I'm like, ew. Well, maybe I'll just have the real thing and just save it for the weekends. And that's another thing. I still have regular ketchup. Like when I go out to eat on Saturdays, I have ketchup in my fries. Normal ketchup. Heinz 57 ketchup. Okay. Or whatever the restaurant's serving. But I'm just talking about like your normal, regular, everyday diet. Try to move those things up somewhere else and save your sugar for your treat, okay? Another thing that is spiking your blood sugar that you don't even realize it, other than just direct sugar, is highly processed food. So if it's packaged, quick, convenient, it's probably less nourishing. Keep that in mind. You should be shopping like that outer perimeter of your grocery store, right? The inner aisles, just think of probably less healthy. Not all of it. I mean, you can get whole grain rice and black beans and things like that in those inner aisles. But the more ingredients there are in a label is a pretty safe bet. 9 times out of 10, it's more processed. And processed food, for whatever biological reason, spikes our blood sugar. So trying to have less processed food and more whole food is better, okay? Another thing that spikes your blood sugar is skipping meals. This was so big for us women over 40. This so leads to blood sugar crashes, overeating later, and hormone stress. And we're the queens of punishing ourselves, ladies. Like if we eat like a really big lunch, we're like, oh, I ate too much. So now for dinner, I'm just going to have a cup of yogurt. It sounds good. Logically, it sounds good, but it's not. Trying to, make up for something, too big of a meal or an unhealthy meal or whatever is going to backfire on you. Just continue with your normal plan. Like, don't overcompensate. Don't punish yourself because you rewarded yourself. That's not how a reward should work. You rewarded yourself, move on, just go back to business as usual. Done. Okay? Now, if you normally have your dessert with dinner and you're like, oh, I had my dessert at lunch, that's fine. You don't have to like, okay, well, I'm having a second dessert. That's fine. You had your dessert at lunch instead of dinner. Cool. No complaints there. No issues there. What I'm saying is don't eat less of your food though. Your nutrients, your actual nutrition, your actual fuel that your body needs to function and make good decisions, by the way. When you're underfueled, you do not think clearly and you make poor decisions, just FYI. So keep that in mind too. Okay. Don't skip meals. Do not skip your meals. Ever, never, ever. Okay. It will backfire. I promise you. It will so backfire on you. So yeah, I think that sometimes we overcomplicate things. And we don't need to. Ladies, our lives are complicated enough. We don't need to do it to ourselves. We don't need to add it to ourselves. So what I like about the things that I'm talking about with you today is these are all things you can easily do. And the last thing I really want to talk about is food pairing. And this to me is another one of those hills that I will die on, and I will preach it from the mountaintops forever and ever, is pairing your sugar with your healthy meals is everything. It's everything. If you eat a scoop of ice cream before bed, that is going to process differently in your body than if you ate it directly after dinner. And you at your dinner, say you had whole grains and vegetables and in your lean proteins, that ice cream scoop registers different in your body and does way less damage paired with that meal. especially the veggies. And here's why. Pairing it with the protein, obviously keeping the blood sugar levels much more even. Okay, so less spikes, less crashes. Pairing it with the veggies, instead of that sugar breaking down, turning into things like cholesterol, belly fat, damaging your heart, damaging your organs, the fiber continues to pull it through your body. So it can just leave. It can be expelled. When you eat it by itself, there's nothing for it to hold on to it and pull it through the body. So when you eat it by yourself, not only are you extra spiking your blood sugar by not pairing it with protein, but by not having it with veggies, that sugar is collecting in places you don't want it to collect. So you hear all the time, well, pair it with a protein. Yes, continue to. I'm not knocking that science. But again, the veggies are so overrated. And maybe you don't want to have ice cream at dinner. Maybe you're someone who's like, look, I have to have my scoop of ice cream while I watch Bridgerton or whatever your show is before bed. Okay, I do. Obviously, I'm going to always say try to allow a couple hours before bed if you're going to eat in general. And you're also probably not going to want a bowl of broccoli with your ice cream scoop. So this is where we have to okay, let's be logical here. Let's not punish ourselves. Let's not set unrealistic expectations. No one's going to eat a spinach salad at 11 o'clock at night with a scoop of ice cream. So this is where I personally like to pair things. If I'm going to have that unhealthy snack before bed, which I try not to do honestly very often, I usually have just some regular air pop popcorn or, something along those lines before bed. But if you're going to, look into things like Laura bars. No sugars in them. It's like 5 ingredients total. And they've got some fiber in there. I only eat half of one personally. Okay. But I pair that with it if I'm going to do that. Or when I'm out and about on Saturdays and I have my special Starbucks treat that I do every single Saturday, I pair that with a mini Laura bar or half of a full size. I split it with the hubby if we do a full size, or we have our own little mini Laura bars. And they are really good and they have some fiber there, so it's better than nothing. We're not looking for perfection here. Okay? We're looking to add things that allow us to still enjoy the things we love and not feel like crap from having doing it. I want to enjoy my desserts and not feel awful later, right? I don't want to be irritable. I don't want cravings. I don't want to be tired. None of that. So by adding things or pairing it with those meals, you don't have to take anything away. I mean, how freaking glorious does that sound? You don't have to take it away. You just have to manage it differently. And it makes all the difference. All the difference. It's crazy. So that's why I say, these are the types of things that I teach in my Joy Method. That's my signature coaching program. It's a 12-week program. These are the things that I teach on a regular basis. That's why it's the Joy Method. We learn how to make differences in our lives that are realistic, first of all, sustainable, second of all, and that don't feel like punishment. Where you actually get to add joy into your life, or at least maintain the pieces of joy you already have, and do it in a way that doesn't hurt us in another way or form later or down the road. And that to me is better than any diet or any fad or any restrictive thing that you can put yourself through, right? And that's why I teach the Joy Method. And this is just a snippet of that. This is just a really good example of how we can still have our joy and still feel good too. We can have our cake and eat it too, so to speak. And I love that. Come on, is that not amazing news, ladies? So go out and try this. Go out and try this. Get those veggies in there. Start pairing your sweets. Like I said, I gave you some options there, right? That you can work with. So you can do this. No restriction. I'm not telling you to get rid of your ice cream. I'm not telling you to get rid of your potato chips or whatever your treat is. Because again, potato chips still spike your blood sugar. It's a processed refined carb. So still sugar, by the way. Still treated by your body as sugar, I should say. Okay. So there's your simple daily formula. That is so big for us women over 40. No more blood sugar crashes. No more overeating later. No more hormone stress. No more cravings you can't ignore. No more feeling irritable and tired and bogged down and bloated. All of these things can be, at least, I won't say cured or 100% gone, but it's going to make a noticeable difference by you doing these things. Mark my words. You can come back and yell at me if it doesn't work. I'm willing to take that. This is a simple daily formula that I'm giving you guys. So use it. And I'm telling you that it works. I've seen it work 100 times. It's worked with me. It's worked with I don't know how many clients. It works. It works. It works. It works. So have that like joy mindset shift in your life. I mean, let's face it, everything else we're trying, we just start over every Monday. We feel like crap. We feel like we never really make any progress. And when we do make progress, it backfires and then we go the other direction. That none of that's working, clearly. So like, let's just try something different and maybe you might just like it. What's the risk in trying this new method for you guys, right? What, you might start over on Monday again? Probably not with this, because you're not taking things away. You're not punishing yourself. You're not restricting yourself. Just changing up the way you eat things. That's it. You get to add more things in. And I love that. So I love it. I love it. I love it. So it's all about supporting your body in the season that it's in. Think of it that way. Like, we're different. We're different than we were, and we'll be different than we are now later. So you have to learn to ask yourself, like, what changes do I need to make? What can I do to feel better now in this season of my life? Not the things I did in the last season of my life, or the things that I'm probably going to do in the next season of my life. If you can just shift that mindset a little bit, you're already going to be ahead of the game. Congratulations. You graduated. So I hope that all really, really helps. I love feedback. Let me know how it goes. Feel free to reach out, questions, comments, all that, anytime. Let's take one last sip of Java. Let that last sip shift your mindset. Take it into the day, the week, the month. That's it. There's another episode of Java and Joy. I hope today's conversation poured some joy into you. If it helped you, I would love if you would share this with a friend who needs to hear it as well. If you haven't already gotten my free health kickoff guide, go grab that. It's a great way to kick off into the spring and the summer with easy, sustainable changes, just like we talked today. That goes a little deeper with like your sleep, nutrition, movement, kind of all the things that we want to do better. And it's all, again, done by the Joy method. So nothing painful. And I also have my 21-day health accelerator program out there that you can grab from my website. That is literally kind of like having a little mini version of an accountability coach for 21 days that's going to step by step give you tasks for each and every one of those 21 days to better your health and really push yourself into the spring and summer and get that health like in check and feel good. And again, without restriction, without punishment. So got to go check those out. There's some good ones. And of course, come join us in the Joy Circle. Challenge kicks off next week. So excited for that. Make sure you guys leave reviews. Again, I'm reaching out, doing giveaways, pop-up things for people who leave me reviews. So just take 60 seconds and do it. It helps me so much when you guys leave reviews. It pushes me out to more listeners and viewers so that I can help more women, reach more people, make a bigger impact. You know, it's a way for you to pay forward that joy, pay forward, hopefully at least the one thing that you might have learned today. And it's helpful to help other women, help them find encouragement and confidence and joy. Okay. And as always, I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate the reviews and the kind words and the comments and all of the support. All of the support is just amazing. And I love you guys for it. So thank you. And again, if you're listening to this on podcast or on YouTube, all of my links are in the description. You can go to my link in bios on Instagram, or you can go to karlajoywellness.com and find everything you need there and more. Okay? All right, guys. Until next time, remember, don't punish yourselves. Do things with joy. Don't cut out the things you love. You can still have your cake and eat it too. Go find your joy.